Welcome back to this week's YouTube Live in the podcast. My name's RD. Welcome to the Waterfowl Den. Tonight, we got Mr. Chris with us. He's been on the show before from Duck Creek Custom Calls. We're going to be talking duck calls, deer calls, all kind of other adventures I know he went on this year. And so let's get to it. How you doing, man?
I'm great, buddy.
Good.
A little tired, but that comes with the territory.
I heard that. How's it down there in Georgia?
It's a little hot and dry. We need rain bad.
Well, I think that's coming tonight and in the morning for sure.
That's what they say. I ain't gonna hold my breath.
Well, you never know. I'm pretty sure they're going to get it right this time.
50% of the time, they're right.
50% they're wrong, and they still make more than me and you put together.
That's a fact.
So what you been up to? I see some calls behind you there.
Building grunt calls for Realtree.
So I saw on your YouTube or Facebook where you are building these grunt calls, and these are for deer hunting, and deer hunting is pretty much in a lot of places. I know it's not in yet for gun season for us yet, but the lower part of South Carolina is definitely in.
Yeah.
Bow season only for y'all right now?
Yeah, it's just bow season right now. I think it's been in for like 2 weeks now.
Right.
Maybe a little longer. I don't bow hunt, so I don't really keep up with it.
So
I used to, but
go ahead.
I used to bow hunt, but I don't no more. I don't have time, so I really don't keep up with it.
So how many calls you make this year?
Right now we're looking at right around 300 grunt calls.
Ooh.
And 56 mallard duck calls, and I want to say it was 135 or 136 wood duck calls.
Good gracious. So you've been busy.
Oh, yeah. Every day I have off, this is where I'm at out here in this shop building grunt calls.
And this ain't your full-time job?
No, it's not. I work full-time at Plant Vogel, working swing shift as a system operator.
Yeah. So I just want to point that out. He's doing it on his times off on the weekends. So tell us about this Realtree adventure you got going on.
Well, you want to hear the whole story?
Man, we got nothing but time.
All right. Last year, about this time, I want to say it was last September, August, September, I was at work and I got a notification on Facebook saying my cousin, Wes Chester, had tagged me in a post. And I didn't think nothing about it. I said, well, I'll see it later. I got through doing what I was doing at work. I got back to my desk and I sat down and looked. And Tyler Jordan of Realtree, which is Bill Jordan's son, had posted on Facebook he was looking for a handmade custom grunt call. And Wes had posted a picture of my friend Dr. James Kroll, Dr. Deer off North American Whitetail, with one of my grunt calls and put a link to my website and my name on there. And before I could actually read the post, Tyler had already commented, very interested, and then he started sending me messages on Facebook Messenger.
That's pretty cool.
Wanting to get one. So I gave him my phone number. He called me. We talked a little bit, and I ended up making 4 grunt calls for them. For one for Bill, one for Tyler, one for Colton, and then he wanted a 4th one for Austin Riley, the 3rd baseman of the Atlanta Braves. So I made those 4, and Tyler decided he didn't want to see them.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want pictures of them and nothing like that. He wanted me to come to Realtree Farms, see Realtree, the office, the farm, the whole 9 yards, and meet him and his dad face to face, and hand the grunt call to him and his dad.
That's pretty awesome. I did.
And it was a really cool experience. And Tyler took me to lunch, and while we're sitting there eating lunch, Tyler said, hypothetically, if we were to cut trees down at Realtree Farms what kind of wood would you need, how much, and how long would it take you to build, say, 500 grunt calls? And I was sitting there trying to eat, and I was going, what? 500? That's a lot of grunt calls.
Absolutely.
It's on the phone right then, and he starts calling the farm manager, Mr. Roger Culpepper, and was explaining all that to him, what he was wanting to do. And Roger said, yes, I can find and pick in trees. I know exactly where some are. Maple might be a little bit hard to find, but we'll find them. So about, I don't know, first week or so of December, Tyler calls and says, hey, we got the wood cut up. It's in 12-inch logs. Whenever you got time, can you come pick it up, or do you want me to send somebody to bring it to you? And so me and my buddy Patrick Atkinson rode over there, and he brought his son, and they got to see real tree farms and all. We hauled the wood back, and I've been building on them, cutting them up, drying the wood, dyeing and stabilizing all the grunt calls.
So
And
where's that at in Georgia? I mean, you got
it's
to put
the
like
actual
address
real
wise.
tree office is in Columbus, Georgia.
How far is that from Atlanta?
From Atlanta, I don't know, maybe 2.5 hours or so. It's 4 hours from here to there, straight across the state, and
Mm-hmm.
it's right there on the Alabama side of Georgia.
I got you.
And sometime in July, after got the 250 finished, me and my buddy Ren Elliott, we rode over there and seen Bill and Tyler and a bunch of the guys. And Mr. Bill went ahead and signed 16 of them then and sent them home with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I went ahead and finished those, sent the picture to Tyler, and Tyler said, let's see what they do. I said, what do you mean? He says, why don't you go ahead and take pictures of them, put them on your website, share it on Facebook, Instagram, all your social media, and I'll do the same. And we'll see how long it takes to sell them. So we did those first 16, and in a little less than 24 hours, all 16 of them sold.
Wow.
And then ever since I come home from Montgomery doing the Buckmaster show, I've been working on these calls, getting them finished.
So how many
And
have you done so far out of them?
I've got 136 finished and 45 sitting right here in front of me that's got the finish on them. I just got to tune them all.
I got you.
And there's probably another 48 in the tote behind me that's got to have a finish on them. So I'll have them all done by next Monday.
So how many colors you got in them?
There is green, brown, orange, a chocolate color, and then some that are black.
Let's see them.
Here's a green one.
Go a little bit to the right. No, well, then the left. Then the other way. There you go. So that's
There's
the
a green
green.
one. There's a kind of a chocolatey color,
That's a pretty one.
and then there's an orange one.
Mm.
And then here's a brown one. I said all of these don't have the finish completely on them yet. Or they finished, they just haven't been tuned. They don't have reeds in them and stuff
Right.
yet. I'll get these finished this weekend. And then here's one of the black. It didn't really turn out that black, but it's a dark color. And to actually see where Bill Jordan signed everyone, you're gonna have to get that one in the light.
Right. Show us the signature on one of them light ons.
Here's one with Bill's signature. And I don't know if you can see that very well
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
And then they all have laser engraved bands on them with Real Tree's logo on one side and my logo on the other. And then every grunt call I signed and put the month and year it was built on it.
That's pretty cool.
And then This is one that's actually finished. So,
Man, your calls are getting everywhere now because you told me last year how many big names had your call. Now this, I mean, before too much longer,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to talk to your secretary to get you on the show.
I doubt that. I'm
I
a
know.
one man operation, but as it stands right now, Jackie Bushman's using them on Buckmasters. All of North American Whitetail Cast uses them. Now, Real Tree's got them. Ted Nugent's got one. Deer Meat for Dinner. Robert Arrington's got one, and so does his cameraman, his wife, and his two girls.
And then Dr. Doug and his wife's got the special pink one.
Yep. Well, I made Robert Arrington's wife and two daughters pink ones this year, and they got their logo on the bands. And then, of course, Dr. Deer, and he's the one that started all this with me with North American Whitetail and stuff like that. And I still talk to Doc 2 or 3 times a week.
Did you go out there this year?
Yes, I went to Texas this past March and spent a week out there with Doc, burning, getting ready. He has a field day every second weekend of March every year, and it's a walking tour through his 358-acre high fence research facility. And he walks, I think it's like 100 people. They divide up in two groups. One group goes with Doc, the other group goes with James Miller, which is one of Doc's students,
Mm-hmm.
and which he's graduated and he's doing his own thing as a wildlife biologist now. James is a great guy. And then come back and eat lunch, and then the group swap. One goes with the one that went with James goes with Doc in the afternoon, and one went with Doc in the morning goes with James in the afternoon. And it's a walking tour, so you get to learn every aspect of whitetail deer management from
How old is
start to
Dr.
finish.
Deer?
76.
Wow. If y'all ain't never followed Dr. Deer on any kind of social media, Facebook area, uh, y'all ought to follow Dr. Deer. He's a very intelligent guy. I bet half the deer hunters could learn half of what that man knows. They definitely could kill some bigger deer.
Well, Doc has lived with whitetail deer pretty much for the last 50 plus years. He was a teacher. He taught wildlife biology at Stephen F. Austin University for I forget how many years, like
Mm-hmm.
25, 30 years. And he's in a partnership with Stephen F. Austin, LSU, and that research facility to study whitetail deer. He gets 2 interns a year from Stephen F. Austin to train. And it's the things that man knows about a deer is just incredible. And I guess you get that way when you love them and you spend that much time with them.
Does
And
he ever go out and hunt them, or he mostly just
oh yeah,
manages them?
well he hunts. He hunts on the North American Whitetail TV show, and he goes. He goes to Kentucky every year and hunts with his friends up there. He's got a couple places in Texas he goes and hunts with people, and
Mm-hmm.
then uh, John Butler, the owner of Buck Forge Oats, has a place in Hutchinson, Kansas. Doc goes up there and hunts with John and Morgan and Jake Butler every year. So, and he told me one time, based on his research and his studies, how many deer they take out of that research facility a year.
Uh-huh.
I know at field day he has a drawing to give away door prizes, and then the grand prize at the field day is a hunt with Doc at that facility to take out one of the inferior. He calls it an inferior buck, but the ones I've seen pictures of
Mm-hmm.
that they take out of there are just incredible. And it's amazing what he can do with a white-tailed deer.
Have you ever hunted with him?
No, I've never been lucky enough to hunt with him. I told him last year I want to come back this fall and just bring my video camera and sit in a deer stand on that research facility and blow grunt calls and see how the deer react to them.
Yeah, that would be very interesting because I mean, it'd be a learning experience for
Yeah,
you too.
yeah, it would, and it would give me a little, more insight to how they react to the calls in a controlled environment. Then you
Right.
could turn around and use that information out in the wild. And
Exactly.
anybody that doesn't follow Doc on Facebook and all, you need to. And
Yeah, especially if you're into deer hunting.
if you're really interested in managing whitetail deer or deer hunting, you need to follow him and you need to get his book.
Yeah, I
His,
follow him on Facebook, and I know he's real big into managing and keeping the grounds up, and
oh yeah, and it's funny to me. He creates travel corridors that me and you would never think about, from the bedding area to the feeding areas, such as food plots and stuff like that. And it's just switchgrass that he's planted through huge planted pines. He's just laid a strip down through there, and it looks like I-95 with the deer traffic through there.
something I heard this week was they were talking about, for if you own big enough land, giving going to the middle of your property and giving them rest areas.
Yeah, and that's
So
what he's done. He's got a sanctuary in the middle of that research facility that no one is allowed to go into.
right, and that's what they were
I've been
that's what they were
around it,
talking about.
and that's what he told. I just got a 178-acre lease less than a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the first thing when I sent pictures of the lease, aerial maps, and the borders and all that. The doc was talking to him about it over the phone, and him looking at the pictures, and he went ahead and told me. He said, "This area right here in the middle, to the left of this road," he said, "between this road and the boundary on the far end," he said, "you need to leave that as a sanctuary. Don't even go in there."
Yeah.
He said, "Is it big pines?" I said, "Oh, yeah, it's big mature pines." And I said, "It's fairly thick. There's a bunch of deadfalls in there from the hurricane we got last year." And he said, "Stay out of it." He said, "Just leave it right there for a sanctuary." And he said, "You'll always have big deer on that property."
Yep. And that's what this guy was talking about too, was giving them a place to rest.
Yeah.
Funny you
Well,
bring up the hurricane, because like today or tomorrow is like 1 year anniversary of that hurricane coming through Georgia. It
yeah.
tore up Florida, it tore up a good section of Georgia, and pretty much devastated North Carolina.
Yeah, it destroyed North Carolina. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And as we talk about that hurricane, we got two hurricanes that's going to be on the coast of Georgia and South Carolina this weekend.
Yeah.
And that the way they talking is, who knows what it might do.
I hope it turns and stays out in the ocean, because I don't believe we can handle another one here.
No, North Carolina can't either.
No, there's no way.
I mean, they still cleaning up from that. And when you go
There's,
down the interstate of Georgia, hey, the trees are still down on them.
oh yeah, it's still that bad,
Mm-hmm.
especially north of where I live. There's a girl that works at the nuclear power plant that just moved back into her house from the hurricane damage,
Really?
and they're still fixing, painting the walls and stuff like that this week in her house.
That's
But
crazy.
she's been in Airbnb for a year.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. There was
Yeah.
some of the guys that I worked with that there was like 7 or 8 days before they could even get out of their neighborhood.
Yeah, I know Georgia. Talking to our buddy Jay. I know his area got hammered pretty hard too, and
Yeah.
keeping up with him.
Well, I mean, The morning after, our power was out. I got up and walked outside, and there's a few limbs around the yard here and there. So I just got on the tractor and cleaned up the yard. Didn't think nothing else about it. I said, I got to get a haircut at 2 o'clock. I'm going to town. And my wife laughed, said, "You ain't going nowhere." I got in the truck and made it out on the highway, and I went about a mile, and that's as far as I could go in either direction.
Yeah.
And when they finally got the roads clean enough where we could go anywhere, we had to go all the way to Orangeburg to get gas.
Orangeburg, South Carolina.
Yes, Orangeburg,
Yeah.
South Carolina to get gas. Just to be able to run the generator. And I think we run on a generator for 8 days before they finally turned the power off. But luckily, Plant Vogel took care of everybody. They opened up places they brought in these trailers for Birmingham that had showers in them. And all the families could come out there and take showers. They provided us with water. They gave us 10 gallons of gas a day for generators and to get back and forth to work.
That's pretty good.
And food packages just to take care of the employees. And I thought that was really incredible for a company to step up and do that.
Yeah.
They even had washing machines set up in the parking lots for people to bring their clothes and wash them.
That's I hate to say it, but national disasters usually bring the best out of people.
It does. And, as bad as I hate to see it and stuff like that, it really does bring out the best in a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. What used to be everybody's community, everybody don't have a community like what they had.
Well, I mean, you say that, but yet your community's not as small as it once was.
That's
With
right.
all this social media and internet and all that stuff, people in a lot bigger area and a lot farther away.
That's
I mean,
true.
I got friends that live in West Texas that are good friends of mine that I never knew before social media.
That's true. I ain't never knew you before this YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it wasn't for these calls, I wouldn't know half the people I know.
That's right.
And I've, through my calls, I've met a lot of great people and got to be friends with a lot of people I never thought I would ever know in my life. But now I consider them great friends, and I assume they consider me friends.
So, you went to a show. What was that show? About 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah, the Buckmasters Expo in Montgomery, Alabama.
How was it this year?
It was great.
Any turkey
really
walking
was.
around this year?
Yeah, they had the turkey walking around, and I got to meet Eddie Salter. Eddie Salter was really a great guy. I'd watched him on, turkey hunting videos when he first started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew who he was. And I walked up to his booth and introduced myself, and he come to my booth and sat and hung out with me for a long time. And I ended up giving him a grunt call.
Yeah, that's pretty
and
cool.
You mentioned the turkey. And the first day they had the turkey in there, he was walking around behind the turkey, calling to it, making it gobble as it walked around. He was having the time of his life.
And that's like a pet wild turkey, though. I mean,
well, it's a tame turkey that's been raised in captivity, and he's there's some kind of petting zoo in Montgomery that he's like their ambassador or something. They bring him to all kind of events like that, and he just walks around strutting all over the place. And he's got 2 or 3 girls that walk around with him like his keepers or handlers or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and kind of herd him in certain directions here and there. He walks around strutting and gobbling and having a big time.
I wonder if he actually follows them, or is he like, hey, I'm going to do my own thing?
Well, from watching them, there's usually one behind him and one girl on either side,
mm-hmm.
and they kind of herd him as they go.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I've seen the videos on
it. He just walks around gobbling. And, everybody and their brothers stopping. Oh, good. Look, that turkey. I can't believe it. They're having the time of their life laughing about it. And
That,
then going over there, it's Jackie Bushman's show, and Jackie's walking around talking to everybody. He's having himself the time of his life, just walking around fellowshipping with people. Like Friday before the show opened, he come over there and seen us and sat and talked to us for a while, sat in the booth, which he's done that the last 3 years we've been over there. And he's really a great guy, and he does a lot of stuff for the kids.
that's good.
And I didn't notice the first 3 years we went. He to get in to the expo, it's only $1 or a canned good. You bring any kind of canned good and just one can. Campbell's soup, vegetables, whatever. You donate that can of soup or whatever, and you get in free.
That's pretty
And then he
cool.
turns around and gives all of that, donates all of that food, and every dollar that they take on it coming in goes to like the Golden Harvest Food Bank.
That's pretty awesome there.
And then he has all the youth bow shoot offs, the 3D targets and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all kinds of kids are in there doing it.
Wow.
I thought that was really cool, and while they're having that, and then Friday night and Saturday night they have bull riding in the parking lot.
Did you get on one?
No, I did not get on a bull.
Mechanical or real? You didn't get on one?
No, real bulls. I did not get on one. I'm fixing to be 54 years old. I don't heal up like I used to. I'm not that brave to get on top of a bull and ride it. And
that would have made for a good,
free.
funny video, though.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it would have. Now last year my daughter went with me. She was 13 then. They had the kids riding sheep.
Uh-huh.
And we tried to talk her into doing that, and she didn't want no part of it. Which I don't blame her. I wouldn't have wanted, as a kid, to get on the back of a sheep either. But
them jokers take off pretty good.
Yeah, the kids that were coming out, they were wrapped, bear hugged around their neck, and that sheep was just flat getting it coming across there. And some of them little girls, they could have a death grip on him. They rode him. And some of them didn't. Some of them, as soon as he took off, they fell off of him. And it was funny to watch.
Yeah.
Like the bull riding, it's free. You don't have to be a participant in it. You just be walking down the street and walk up, grab a seat, and sit down and watch.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's
it's a great time.
We have to take care of our kids, and like you said, he's getting them involved, and that's our next generation of whatever we're hunting also.
And then they had Macy Watkins there. I don't know if you know who she is. She's big on the internet, on YouTube, Facebook, and all that stuff. Going around hunting and fishing. Her and her.
Like you broke up there. The internet drug on you. There you go. You come back.
There we go.
There you go. Hey, at least the internet's holding up better in the shop.
Yeah. Well, I've got I think it's called a Wi-Fi extender or booster or something. My wife got me and we plugged in over here beside me.
I got you. It made a difference.
Philip Culpepper was supposed to be there. He had a booth for his TV show, The Hunt Club.
Mm-hmm.
But it was his wife had planned a surprise birthday party for him that Saturday night. So Mr. Roger came and manned the booth the whole weekend and convinced Philip not to come to go to that so he could go to his birthday party.
I mean, you'll have another birthday, right? I mean, you know what?
Yeah. But Mr. Rogers really a great guy. He's the farm manager at Real Tree Farms. And just sitting and talking to him, he knows so much and just really a down to earth, solid earth kind of guy. to sit and talk to anybody. And you get the impression talking to him that if you needed help, Mr. Roger give you the shirt off his back to help you.
That's what a lot of people in the hunting community is just like that. The hunting, just all hunting in general, is a
Yeah,
small group of people that really like to look out for each other.
and they do. And I mean, that's like with Doc. Every once in a while, he posts stuff just bragging on me or my calls, and I ain't never paid him a dime.
Yeah.
I've given him, I give him whatever he wants. He wants a call, I'll give it to him. But he's never asked me for anything.
Right.
And usually when he makes a post on Facebook, I know he's made a post because I start getting notification for grunt call selling. And then I go to Facebook and look, yep, that's the reason why Doc made a post about him.
So we've been in about 30 minutes. For the people just joining, Chris makes deer calls and duck calls, and he
Yeah.
was.
Go ahead.
We could talk about the duck calls, but earlier we talked about the grunt calls. If you missed that session, we'll circle back to it. But he's making some grunt calls with some wood from the real tree farms there, and they're signed by Mr. Realtree. And then let's talk duck calls. What you got going on?
All right.
What you got going on this year with duck calls?
Well, I mean, we got some different colors of acrylic this year. I'm really digging this black pearl acrylic. I don't know how well you can see that on the
Yeah,
camera.
that looks good.
And then, of course, I still got Old Faithful. That's the first duck call I ever built in my life. And
You
she's
still
been with me. I
you,
still take her hunting after 20 years.
really?
Yep. Now, I did have to get me a new wood duck call this year. Mine broke. And there's a little shotgun shell wood duck calls.
Let's hear it. Face away from the camera because where it won't be high pitched. That's pretty good. Zach commented, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to that, but he wanted to know if you made any goose calls. I don't think you make goose, do you?
Not anymore. I used to, but you really didn't. You didn't. It wasn't worth the effort to buy all the material to make them and
Right.
make them, and then you sit and hold them, sit on them for 2 or 3 years before you sell them all. Because here in Georgia, you don't get many calls for goose calls.
Right. And he lives in the same town as me, and we hunt a lot of residential geese. I wish
And
I
that's
wish we could get some of the migrants, but
what I've hunted the migrants in Oklahoma,
mm-hmm.
Kansas, and stuff places like that. And you go scout a place, and there'll be a couple hundred in this cut Milo field today. You come back tomorrow and set up, and they might not even show up the next day. It's out there. It's really hit or miss, and then when you get on them, it's incredible,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hit or miss.
Let's hear
And
the malacos you got. I see you had to go get Old Faithful. You didn't reach for the other one. You went straight to Old Faithful.
it's hard to put her down. She's the first one I made that was successful. I had sent the insert off and had a jig, had it mapped, had a jig made to it, and that's what I cut everything off of. Is this off of that jig, and I got to stick with her.
What
I've
works
killed
is
a
works.
pile of I've killed a pile of ducks with our place decor enter
Mm-hmm.
every couple months, but other than that, it's never had a problem.
I'm gonna pull up your website on the screen here. Um,
Okay.
so look who it is. There we go. So duckcreekcc.com, or you can just search for Duck Creek custom calls, and it'll take you to his website. So scrolling down on it, you can see the duck calls. Um, Earlier we were talking about the grunt calls. So let's start with grunt calls. There's the grunt calls, and you said the real tree ones are on the website
No, the real true ones are not going to be available until next month, until
next month.
October.
So they will be on the website when they're available if
We're
they don't
still
sell
discussing
out.
that. I don't know if I'm selling them or if Tyler's selling them. I still
I
got to
got
finalize all this with Tyler because he's at first he wanted to sell them. Then he said maybe we'll let you sell all of them and give us the proceeds of it. This, that, and the other.
you.
But
So
that page you got pulled up there is for the women
the
color
right.
grunt calls, the Miss Deer grunt calls, and
So
that's
these are the female ones here, and they go for $100.
yep.
Go back up. I wanted to hit the regular grunt calls. So here's all the colors you were showing. They're averaging 100, 125. But
Yeah,
you said
that boar
you
that
said
wood
go ahead.
I have to charge a little bit more because it's a laminated wood
Mm-hmm.
and it costs me so much to buy it. But it looks cool and it sounds incredible.
But the real tree ones, how much are the real tree ones?
The real true ones we're gonna sell for 150.
I mean, that seems like a heck of a deal for wood that
Well,
came off real trees property and signed.
yeah. To
Show
me,
it.
I think that's a great deal being signed by Bill Jordan.
Yeah.
You can't beat that with a stick.
No, I don't think that that's a bad deal at all. And
No.
I know that there's a bunch of colors on here, and I mean they're really sharp looking calls. And then you got your duck calls on here.
Yep.
You know that pearl white is really pretty. I know you might like that pearl black, but that pearl white is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, that stormtrooper. That
Yeah.
looks pretty cool.
Did you sell a bunch of duck calls at the show, or did you take any with you?
We sold. We didn't sell a whole lot of mallard duck calls. I think we
Mm-hmm.
sold 5 or 6. But then it's like every other person walked up had to get a wood duck call.
Yeah, that's
We
what I'm
sold
looking.
wood duck calls hand over fist.
I bet I'm more if there is there a section for the wood ducks. Yep, right there.
Yeah,
There's the wood duck
shotgun
one.
shell wood duck calls.
Yep.
Those sold hand over fist. I mean, we had a sign over there with them saying what they were and how much
Mm-hmm.
they cost. And you'd be talking to somebody at the front of the booth and turn around and somebody's handing you $30. Man, I really like this call. That's cool. And you don't
Yeah.
even know what the guy's name is. He's turning and walking off.
That's pretty cool. I like the wood colors because that's like traditional type. Something you
Yeah.
could pass on, especially the grunt calls. Um,
Well,
more
that's
people are probably prone to losing the wood duck call versus a grunt call just because
yeah.
of the size.
Well, if you put it on your lanyard, it's going to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to fall off. I've not had any trouble with them falling off. Just mine was like 15, 20 years old, and the finish was gone on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just retired it and got a new one.
And,
And then I think I've had a couple come back over the years that the brass pulled loose.
mm-hmm.
And it's always been my policy, if you buy a call from me, I'm going to stand behind it 100%. So if it breaks, tears up, your fault, my fault, I don't care. If I can't fix it, I'll give you a new one.
And that's a good warranty right there.
And I want it to be to where you pass it down to your kids or your grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear a story one day, a kid telling me, my grandpa killed this buck using your grunt call and he passed it down to me. That would tickle me more than selling 1,000 grunt calls.
Well, I mean, it's highly possible that could be happening soon. You know.
Yeah. And it's, I love this, especially going to these shows and you're sitting there and you just happen to look up and you see two guys around in the corner and one of them stops his buddy and says, "Hey, that's the man I bought that call from. You need to go talk to him."
Mm-hmm.
And they come up, or people come up and pull out their phones. "Let me show you the deer or the ducks we killed using your calls last year or the
Yeah.
year before." That tickles me so much to know that something I made with my hands, that people think so highly of it and they use it and they're enjoying it and they're happy.
Yeah,
So I
because
can't.
I feel the same way. Like going down the road and somebody says, "Hey, I saw your truck. Keep up the good work." It's like
Yeah.
the small town kind of atmosphere that makes it worth it all.
And then people come up and say, "Hey, yeah, I remember I bought a duck call from you last year, or I bought a grunt call last year at this show. I really love that call." Man, that makes you feel good.
You got any more
And then,
shows you gonna go to this year?
no, I'm still trying to get. My biggest fear is getting all of these real tree grunt calls finished,
Mm,
and then getting back on mine. Because if I don't know if you could see on my website, there's only like 35 of mine left on the website.
right,
So
and the way
I've
you
got
do
to
it,
get more of them finished.
the way you do your grunt calls is a one of a kind. The picture that's on the website is the one you're buying. Isn't that correct?
That's correct. Well, they're all one of one. So you could take, I don't know if you can see behind me, those totes down there
Uh huh.
under the shelf. I can fit 4 grunt calls a time in those to dye and stabilize.
Mm-hmm.
You can put 4 grunt calls in there, all in the green dye. They're all maple, and they're all four going to turn out looking totally different.
Yeah.
So they're all one of one. Your grunt call is yours. Somebody else might have one that's shaped like yours. Someone else may have a green maple or orange maple or orange whatever, but it's not going to look like yours. No way, shape, or form is it going to look like yours.
And it's numbered and signed by you.
And I sign them and I put the month and year it was made on every one.
Show us on the lighter color one. I know we can see it on that.
There's one of the real tree ones. Get it. There we
There
go.
you
That way. I sign it and I put the month and year it was made on the side of it. And then this is one of the ones that
go. The real tree one.
Bill Jordan signed.
Mm-hmm. They did a good
And
job on that laser engraving on that band.
I really like those. And there's Mr. Ron Gould does those for me. Gould's custom bands.
Mm-hmm.
I just send Mr. Ron an email and tell him what I want. He sends me a receipt. I pay it, and within 4 to 5 days, they're in my mailbox.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, it took him a little longer to do all the real tree ones because there were
Mm-hmm.
so many. But like, I ordered 14 for North American Whitetail this year. It's got my logo on one side, theirs on the other, and it took him 4 days to have them to me.
Really?
Yeah. So, and I build them grunt calls every year with those bands on them, just different woods every year, and they use them on the TV show, which that tickles me to death.
I can imagine so when you see something that you made personally, handmade, made versus, them just buying it off of,
Yeah.
overseas China made plastic or something.
Well,
I
I
mean, it's
mean,
handmade.
most people balk. Oh, I ain't paying $100 for a dang grunt call, but
Mm-hmm.
You spend dollars a year buying one of them cheap plastic ones from Walmart, and you have to buy a new one every year.
Yeah.
Why not just buy one grunt call for $100 one time, and it'll last you a lifetime? And if it does mess up, all you got to do is call me and send it back, and I'll fix it. And if I can't fix it, you get a new one.
Right.
And I most of the time I've had very few over the years come back that I could not fix, and I just told the people, hey, go on my website and pick out a new one. Just whichever one you want off my website, pick it out. It's yours. I'll send it to you. I
What
think I've
kind of
had to do that 2 or 3 times in 20 years.
maintenance you tell people to cleaning them and stuff like that?
Really and truly, there's no kind of maintenance you need to do. Just don't leave it out in the weather.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have some common sense. Don't leave it out in the weather. And the biggest thing is if you leave it out in the weather, the finish is going to go away. That sun will destroy that finish in no time. And other than, you know, getting a little bit of trash up under the reeds, I've told people over the phone, hey, just roll the O-ring off and take a paper towel or a dollar bill and ease it under that reed,
Mm-hmm.
or turn it around backwards and blow the trash out of it and then go back to working. Same thing with a duck call. No big deal.
Now, what would have been
Comes right
cool?
out.
What would have been cool if I could have got a deer to come in on my camera when you blew that? I don't know if you noticed that in the corner up there.
I saw it up there.
Yeah.
I thought that was a live feed
It is.
in
It's
your yard.
it is. It's a live feed out in the woods. You know, that's what Dr. Deer needs. He needs a big camera out there so he gets a live feed what's going on out there. There was a big old doe on there a couple weeks ago, a big old doe. But
Well, I've got a friend of mine. He knows some people that lives outside of Atlanta, and they've got a big feeder set up behind their house, and they've got a live feed just like that. And you can sit there in their living room and watch. It's in a neighborhood,
right.
so you can sit there on their couch and watch huge deer coming up eating out of that feeder in these people's yard.
You know, I can't remember the guy's name, but he hunts big deer in downtown Atlanta with a bow and arrow.
That's Lee Ellis of Seek One. He's also, I've given Seek One, all of them, all 8 of them have one of my grunt calls.
Yeah.
That's who I was forgetting earlier.
That's pretty cool.
Not this past year in Montgomery, but the year before, Seek One had a booth over there, and I met Lee and Kendall, Griffin, and one of the other guys, I can't remember his name, and then Cheeto. They all come and sat and talked to me a while, and I gave them grunt calls, which I made them special grunt calls with their logo on the bands.
Right.
And they showed up on their TV show, on their YouTube channel a couple times with them.
That's pretty cool.
I forgot all about Seek One until you mentioned that. And if you sit and watch them on YouTube, the deer they're killing are in people's backyards in Atlanta, Georgia. I watched one video where he shot, I want to say it was like a 160-inch buck sitting on these people's driveway. They had pine straw bales stacked up outside of their garage on the driveway. He put a stool behind them pine straw bales and shot this deer in their backyard eating off their plants.
That's crazy, ain't it?
It's nuts. And I couldn't put up with it. They're sitting in a deer stand. The neighborhood dogs is walking around. You see people walking around through the woods, laughing and giggling. And they just sit there in a deer stand and be quiet. Eventually, those people go home and the deer come out and start moving around.
Yep.
It's insane. The first time somebody walked by me, I'd be like, screw it, I'm going home. I can't deal with it. I mean, I get aggravated if I'm.
Oh, he went to buffering. He'll come back. That or somebody called him on his phone while he was on it. That sounded like he coming back.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, he went to buffering or somebody called him.
I went to buffering,
Uh,
which while we're sitting there talking, I'm getting notifications from my trail cell cameras popping up. New images available on the pond camera. New images available on the middle road camera.
well, they moving, man. I'm telling you because, um, I'm gonna pull it up here. I did because I wanted to mention it too because I'm always about some weather, and weather is definitely uh, moves things, and
Of
I'm gonna
affecting
throw
us right now.
absolutely. Let's see. All right. So look at this. This is just outside Atlanta. Like I told you earlier, you know,
Yeah.
this is what's coming. So if you in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina tonight, tomorrow, we're gonna have some pretty bad storms, and there's some pretty wicked lightning involved with these storms. So this is just kicking off tonight. So um, you know these animals they know that hey they're probably thirsty because it I don't know about you because it ain't rained at my house in like a month.
It's
Oh,
been close to 6 weeks here since we've had rain.
I almost went outside yesterday and baled dirt. I mean that's how like my grass don't even scream anymore when I walk on top of it. It's just dead.
Yeah, I mine too. It's
But
just it crunches under your feet, and
yep,
I walk from the house to the shop, and usually got dust on my boots when I get to the house.
yep. That
It's
that's
crazy.
that's how ours is. So this past weekend started teal season in South Carolina. We get a whole 8 days, and Saturday, man, if we could have shot mosquitoes, we would have had our limit before 5 minutes getting out of the truck. The mosquitoes were
Dang.
terrible. I mean, terrible. My little thermal cell was working overtime.
Well, you know it's bad when you. Was it last year? Been a year or two. I was sitting in a deer stand and had thermocell running, and I turned around and looked at the thermocell to make sure it was still going, and there's a dang mosquito sitting on top of it.
I can believe it.
So
But I
it
had I had bug spray going, and then so that was Saturday morning when we went. Friday night, somewhere around Friday night. The news around Charleston area, a man died of a rare something that got bit by a mosquito, and I'm like, that's awesome. That's in the
that's
exact.
exactly what I wanted to hear.
That he's
I'm
in the
sitting out here
same.
getting eat up by them.
I was in the same marsh. I'm like, you know
Getting
what?
eat up by
And I'm that type. I got that type blood that man, if I go out there, them mosquitoes tear me up. Look like he froze on us again. That or for sure enough, he done got a phone call. But yeah, y'all don't play around tomorrow. Tomorrow's weather is definitely going to be pretty wicked, and I said this last year about that time we got a hurricane. Um, with the weather this weekend, this hurricane, and the other one that's going to be forming.
yep.
Like Monday, Tuesday, area of Georgia, this whole Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Today,
It's gonna be it's not
now,
gonna be pretty.
no, it's not going to be pretty, and they don't know what it's going to do yet. It's still some distance away, but now is the time to go get your water and make sure your generator's got fuel in it. So,
Yep.
you know, it could
Well,
be
the one
could be
last
bad.
year.
It could not be bad.
Well, the one last year, it was predicted to go up the Georgia Alabama line,
Yep.
straight up that side of Georgia. And once it hit landfall, it just took a hard right and come right through the middle of Georgia.
Hmm.
upper part of South Carolina and on into North Carolina. And
You,
it's hard to say who got the worst of that.
you know, that's what happened in the mountains. We had weeks of rain before the hurricane. And
Yeah.
what's it going to do tonight and all day tomorrow? It's going to be heavy rains. Heavy
Yeah.
rains, a lot of flooding with a back to back of a hurricane. That's usually when we lose our power. So, um,
Well,
now's the time to get prepared for it.
what happens is, it saturates the ground beforehand, and then
Hmm.
that hurricane comes in, and the ground's already saturated, so the trees don't really have a good hold on the ground,
That's right.
and they're easier to blow over like that once they get all that saturation and high wind. So hopefully these hurricanes turn and stay out in the ocean.
I
That's
hope
all we
so.
can really hope for, and pray that they don't hit landfall around us anywhere.
Well, I'm going hunting this weekend. This is the last weekend of teal season, and I hope that wind is pushing them as we speak across Georgia into the marshes of South Carolina, and I hope the hurricane just puts them right there in front of my kayak. That, that, that's what all I'm. Just a push this way and a push this way equals a beautiful photo. That's what I'm trying to get is a good video.
And what they call it, the perfect storm.
Yeah, but
It
I'm also
holds
in a
up
kayak,
everything.
so I don't want massive waves
You
or
brave her
winds.
now. I ain't getting on a kayak.
Well, Saturday we didn't see any teal. We saw two alligators, a lizard swimming, and a snake. and
Dang.
we're paddling and paddling through the marsh, and I'm like, "There's a snake." We get up to it, and it's like a green garden snake out in the middle of the marsh. I'm like, "I think you're lost."
He went for just want to swim, go find him some new place to live. I reckon.
I guess because that's like salt water. I mean, I was kind of shocked by it, but he was on his way, and he looked like he was having a good time, and I was paddling, and I was having a good time. So we just kind of nodded at each other and kept on going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, snakes like that really ain't gonna hurt nothing. Just
Nah,
leave them be and go on about life. They'll leave you alone.
yeah.
The only ones that's ever really bothered me, duck hunting or fishing or anything like that, was dang water moccasin.
Mm.
They'll try to come get in the boat with you.
Yeah, I don't like snakes.
Now rattlesnakes and stuff like that, as long as you give them a wide berth, I ain't got no problem with them. They go on about his life, catch him
Yeah,
some rats.
they can all have their territory because I don't like none of them. I would run like a little girl.
Ah. Well, he can't run you down and catch
I don't know about that. I mean,
you.
I'm getting older. I'm getting older and fatter. It's highly possible that he can run me down and get me.
I'm not even. Just don't give him a chance. Just leave him alone. Stay
That's
away from him.
that's what I'm talking about. So how you said that these calls you don't know which site they're going to be on. So how can people follow you and know where these calls are going to be at?
Well, they can follow me on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. And what I'm gonna do is once I'm gonna probably talk to Tyler sometime this weekend
Mm-hmm.
and get a definite answer, and then we'll make a big announcement on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff between me and Tyler Jordan. So if you follow either one of us on Facebook or Instagram, you'll be able to see where they're going to be available and when. We just wanted to have them done by October and then make the announcement before deer season starts
Right.
across, rifle season across the country. Because really and truly, you don't need a grunt call during bow season. It could help you a little, but for the most part, you're not going to need it until they start rutting late October and November.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, during the buck and you can grunt at him and get his attention, he might come to you. But for the most part, they're worried about feeding right now.
Right. And I got a
But
lot of
then,
acorns on the ground right now.
oh, there's a ton of acres because, you know, even though we was talking about not having rain for a month or so,
Mm-hmm.
in the spring and some early summer, we got a lot of rain. So
Yep.
there's a bumper crop of acorns this year,
Yep.
and they're starting to show up on them pretty good. I've noticed the other day that there's a lot of them falling in my yard, and I imagine, well, some of the cameras at the hunting club are showing up deer in the woods now instead of out in the more out in the woods instead of in the peanut fields behind us.
Right. I looking at my deer camera this morning, I was like, why in the world is the water shaking? Like, what is going on? And I zoomed in. I said, there's something in that water. So I went back there and looked, and on my way, I saw a lot of acorns on the ground.
Yeah.
And it was a little teeny box turtle swimming around in that water. He couldn't get out.
Yeah.
So I
That's
picked
why
him
you
I picked him up and got him out of the water.
you need to cut a decent sized stick about bigger as your arm
Mm-hmm.
and stick down in there, kind of crossways to where it's in the bottom on one side and sticking out the other side. So that way, when like squirrels and stuff like that, a rat
Mm-hmm.
or a possum, anything that falls in there, they're able to climb out of it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I might need to do that.
And that's one of the things that Doc taught me over the years is a lot of people don't think about it, but if you put supplemental water sources like that out for the deer,
Mm-hmm.
they'll use it.
Oh
But
yeah,
also, the other critters will do it, and then if they fall in there and drown, it's just ruins your water source.
yeah.
So you,
So
you put that stick in there, and you're gonna get green tree frogs, snakes, turtles, squirrels. Everything's gonna come and drink out of it, and you give them a way to escape if they fall in, because they're gonna fall in.
mm-hmm.
Even a 5 gallon bucket, they'll fall in it and they can't get out. So you give them a way to get back out once they fall in.
Yeah, that's what somebody told me before was like, hey, put a water source out there. I'm like, well, Darren, there's a pond, 100 yards from them. But as soon as I put that out there, I started seeing more deer. I seen raccoons go over there. They dump their whatever they're eating in there, and then, it was pretty cool. But no, I never thought about putting a stick in
Yeah.
there. I'll do that.
Well, I mean, from what Doc told me, is for every 80 acres, put a water source. And deer are like us. If they don't have to go far, they're not going to.
Right.
And I got my phone plugged up, but it keeps popping up saying low power.
It will
I,
it will eat a battery while we on there. Yeah.
well, I got it plugged in, so I guess it's charging. I don't know.
It's
So if
carrying
it
that.
cuts out, that's what happened.
But
But
yeah,
like I said, a
I'll do that.
deer's like us. They're lazy. They're going
Mm.
to take the path of least resistance. And if you've got a water source, they're going to go to it instead of walking another 100 yards to the pond.
Right.
And what Doc shows me and what he does is out there in Texas, he calls it one-stop shopping for deer. He's got fruit trees,
Oh, did we?
graze them
There's your
like
back.
arrowwood viburnum and stuff like that planted around his food plots. And then he's also got a feeder and a supplemental water source at every food plot. So he like I said, he calls it one-stop shopping for deer. It's like the jet food store for the deer. They can come and get whatever they need and want right there. And if you put, like he does, different types of fruit trees around it that
Mm.
drop at different times of the year, like persimmons, pears, and stuff like that, you just keep the deer coming back looking for more because they know the persimmons are going to drop now. The persimmons run out, the pears start dropping,
Right.
and vice versa, and chestnuts. And that's why he preaches so much of what they call a deer orchard.
You know,
And you
there's a
plant a variety of stuff like that, so the deer there's something always hitting the ground to feed the deer.
You know, persimmons trees right now is a hot topic because the old
Yeah,
wives tell you can cut them open as a spoon, a fork, or a knife, and depends on what you find in them is how cold it's going to be this year. And they
yep,
say it's going to be cold.
that's what I've heard.
And I also
That
learned about a persimmon tree this week is there's a male persimmon tree and a female persimmon tree, and you know obviously the male don't have the fruit, but the
right,
female tree will not produce any fruit if there's not a male planted near it.
yeah, and that's what I've done is I went and planted persimmon trees back here. I got 25 different ones from
Hmm.
planted, so that way I got hopefully the majority of them's females, and there's a couple of males. By the way, my luck runs are all male.
That's how my luck is when I go buy chickens.
Yeah, you go buy chickens from the Tractor Supply, you'll come home with all roosters.
That's a fact, Jack.
That's my luck. But they say, like you some of the old wives say, you can take a baby chicken and turn it upside down in the palm of your hand,
Hmm.
and if it lays there just docile, it's a hen. If it fights to get up, it's a rooster. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's just one of the old wives' tales I've always heard.
That's pretty interesting. I ain't heard that one.
I keep some old timer told me that one time, and I don't even remember who he was. I don't know if it's truth or not, but I'm sure there's people out there watching and listening that know more about it than I do.
You know, a lot of these old wise things, old wise tales, and these old farmers used to talk about some of this stuff. Usually, it's all real.
Yeah, they knew what they was talking about.
Absolutely, they didn't have no Google.
No, it was knowledge passed on from generation to generation. It's just the same as like you walking through the woods and find an old wooden deer stand in a tree.
Yeah,
Your best bet's to put you a deer stand right there close by it, because that old fella they had it there for a reason.
absolutely. So, how can people get in contact with you, call you, or whatever?
They can just on my website, duckcreekcc.com. My email address is on there. My phone number is on there. Or they can just pick up the phone and call me at 706-871-8491. Just,
Me.
if you do call, leave a voicemail if I don't answer the phone, because I work swing shift. I might be asleep. I might be at work. I don't know where I'll be. But if you call, leave a voicemail, and as soon as I get it, I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can.
There you go. You heard it. And like you said, you need to be paying attention because I still think that's a heck of a deal on them grunt calls from Realtree.
I do too.
I don't think those going to last very long.
But I think Tyler's wanting to donate some to like NWTF,
Hmm.
some to Whitetails Unlimited. I believe that's what he said. But
Different organizations.
he was talking about donating some to them for charity.
Hmm.
So I don't know exactly all his plans. Like I said, as
Probably
soon
for
as I get
fundraisers.
well, like I said, I got to talk to him and find out exactly everything he wants to do. I'm not 100% sure what all he's wanting
Well,
and
it
how they going to.
might be something y'all do again in partnership later on down the road.
Well, that's all these ones back here on the shelf behind me are theirs.
Hmm.
And we talked about it briefly, me, him, and Bill Jordan over lunch last time I was over there. That next year is their 40th anniversary,
Hmm.
and so they might want to do some more. Because originally Tyler wanted to do 500, and then they decided in July, let's stop at 250, and then possibly next year do the other 250 for the 40th anniversary.
Buffered a little bit there. So while he's buffering until his phone comes back, y'all definitely go check out Chris. Hit him up. Uh, I hear him coming back. There you go. You buffered there for a second. Tell them
Yeah,
they gonna have to go ahead and get on it because you a one man band.
yep. Well, the good thing about it is if we do them again next year, they're already cut, drilled, dyed, and stabilized. So
Right.
all I've got to do is build now. So that takes out a lot of the process that took me so long, because when you cut down a green tree,
Mm-hmm.
it's got a high moisture content. Every one of them had 25% moisture in each blank. So I had to dry them for a couple months to get them down to where it could actually work with them. Because if you build a call out of wet wood, once it starts drying out, it's going to bust.
Right, crack.
And that's, you got to get it down to like 5 to 7% moisture or less before you build the call. So that took a lot of time cutting them logs up, sealing them in wax, and drying them. But the majority of the work's done now. All I got to do is just actually build calls.
Well, I greatly appreciate you coming on tonight. I know it's tied up some of your time, and
And no big deal, dude.
I
I
know
enjoyed it.
I know you about as busy as I am with kids too.
Whew. Yeah, mine had a softball game this afternoon.
Well, I was
And
dealing with soccer yesterday, so yeah, I balance around dance and soccer.
well, my youngest is 14. She made the high school softball team this year as a freshman, and
That's good.
she's actually got to pitch in 5 games now.
So she
Granted, we
got
were
she
up.
she got her college picked out yet?
No, but she's got 3 more years of high school, and we've hired her a pitching coach to help her. And it's actually a girl that went to Burke County High School, the same school Cheyenne's going to. She comes out here 2 or 3 days a week and works with Cheyenne. And this is her first year ever playing softball, and she's improved 100% since she started.
That's good.
And like I said, I talked to my wife right before we got on this call to see how the girls did today. And Cheyenne got to pitch the last inning of the game, and she struck out 3 batters in a row.
That's real good.
So she's improved a lot, but the coach told me that her stamina is not where he wants it to be. She's still got, to build herself up to be able to last more than one inning.
Well, I mean she's
So,
young too, so
yeah. And that's what he said. He said she's young, she's still got a lot to learn. He said, but she's improving a lot, and he loves her enthusiasm, her drive, and her willingness to learn.
that's good.
So as long as she keeps doing it, the future's bright for her.
Maybe
And
one day we'll see her playing college softball.
well, I found out today my niece is a freshman at East Georgia College, and she's pitching in her first game this weekend.
Really?
Yeah. So
South Carolina Gamecocks got a pretty good team. I mean, they did do two. They went to the championship. Well, this about maybe she'll
yeah,
end up at South Carolina Gamecocks versus them Georges.
I'd rather be happy with her if she went to East Georgia or Georgia Southern.
I don't know. I want best for us, like maybe Oklahoma, the Oklahoma, Tennessee. They usually always at the championship.
Yep, Oklahoma, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and Tennessee.
Yep.
I don't know if I could wear that Tennessee orange though.
It's better than Clemson orange.
I don't know. I just being a Georgia Bulldog my whole life. It's kind of hard to like orange colors.
Hey, full ride scholarship might
Yep.
change your attitude.
Yeah.
It might
I
help.
could wear I could wear their smoky gray, I reckon.
You get a shirt and camo and it'd just be the tee.
Yeah. Realtree camo with a T on it.
That's right. Man,
Well,
I appreciate you. Go ahead.
Tyler and Bill Jordan, they both went to Ole Miss.
Really?
And I didn't know this until I went over to Realtree Farms. Bill Jordan played college football at Ole Miss. He was a wide receiver with Archie Manning.
Wow.
I didn't notice when I went over the first time and toured the office. Tyler took me in his dad's office, and Mr. Bill was in there, and he had an Ole Miss helmet on the shelf behind him. And I asked about the helmet, and he turned around and handed it to me. He said, "That was my helmet when I played at Ole Miss." And I said, "Really? I didn't not know you played football at Ole Miss." I said, "I knew you and Tyler went to school there." And then he showed me pictures of him and Archie Manning, the whole team, and all that stuff. And I thought, that's pretty interesting to get to play with Archie Manning.
Yeah, no joke.
So
I mean, there's a lot of football players, that's in the hunting and fishing.
yeah.
You know?
Well, like Doc, he played college football at Baylor, and his first job outside of college was a football coach at West Virginia. He coached wide receivers at West Virginia.
Different time periods too, because you talking like their time period of like the 60s and 70s. They weren't paying like they're paying now, like these multi-million-dollar deals. These guys that were playing football, they were probably still having to work in college, and they were doing side jobs where college football players now, they get full ride scholarships and the
NIL stuff.
That's right, multi money. Which I don't blame them either. If I had that kind of talent, I'd hope somebody pay me too.
Well, a lot of them, I can't say that they will or they won't, but a lot of them probably won't even go to the pros.
Mm-hmm. Or get hurt.
They get drafted in the pros, they get hurt. Because, you never know. It's not a guaranteed future to go to the pros and play and make millions of dollars. So if they can get paid for it, more power to them. I'm happy for them.
I agree. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
I enjoyed it, bud.
Oh yeah, hour sometimes flies by.
Oh yeah, when you sitting there on your butt talking and cutting up and having fun,
yeah,
it goes pretty quick.
Well, I'm happy for you that you got this deal with Realtree going on. I hope something comes about for that 40-year anniversary also.
I appreciate it, bud. I'm pretty excited about all of it.
Yeah. So y'all go check out Chris's website. Show him that grunt call one more time before we get off. There you go.
That way. Signed by Bill Jordan.
One of a kind. Won't be another one like it.
Yep. They're all one of one. So your grunt call is your grunt call. Guaranteed.
For a lifetime warranty too.
Yep. We'll stand behind it. So.
The only downside is the signature. Yeah, if something happens to them, the signature might not. You tear it up bad enough.
If it gets messed up that we have to replace it, you won't get you can keep the one with the signature on it, and I'll just give you a new one.
There you go. That's a man standing behind this stuff.
Yep. So there's no way I can replace it with Bill's signature on it a second time.
Yeah.
I'm hoping most people that buy these are going to take care of them and put them up for a keepsake or something like that.
Right.
But they're made to hunt with. So if you hunt with it, finish wears out, send it back off, put a new finish on it, whatever it needs.
That's pretty cool.
But once I'm gone, you're on your own with that.
Man said when he gone, don't come dig him out of the grave.
Yep. It's your problem then. So.
That's
All
funny.
right, dude. It
Well, I
was fun.
appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. Y'all go check out his stuff, and like I said, like he said, he's gonna have it on his social media. So whenever they drop, whatever site that they decide that they're gonna drop on, uh, y'all make sure to check him out and hit him up. And I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. Uh, until next week, we'll see y'all next week, next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Y'all be safe out there with the storms and the hurricane. We'll know what it's doing next week, but y'all stay safe out there. And here's a word from our sponsors, and I'll see y'all next week. Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Also, go check out Salt Creek Ammo. This triple curl TSS is some of the best TSS I have ever shot. This is for waterfowl edition. It's made full waterfowl. So if you're going to shoot a species that you've been chasing for a long time, don't use no cheap ammo. You pay good money to go on a trip. You got great guns. Don't cheap out on cheap ammunition. This TSS is amazing. It's got number 7s, number 8s, and he has number 9s. So go check out saltcreekammo.com. Here you will find any kind of ammo you're looking for. He has custom loads, TSS in 10 gauge, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, low pressure ammunition. You got predator ammunition, turkey ammunition, anything you're looking for, give Keith a call. Also to the channel, Kicks Industries, most people will know them as Kick Chokes, has came on board, and I have done a bunch of series lately on waterfowl choke tubes, turkey choke tubes, deer choke tubes. So go check out Kick's website for all of the chokes that can fit your guns. Flint Ridge Hauling Service LLC has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service LLC prides itself in its reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth riding 40-foot air ride equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no further than Flint Ridge Hauling Service LLC.